What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing absolutely fine. And today, as usual, we're gonna continue with an essay by Seneca on anger. It's gonna be the eighth part of the third book, so let's get started. Since we know how to since we know not how to endure an injury, let us take care not to receive one. We should live with the quietest and easiest tempered persons, not with anxious or with sullen ones. For our own habits are copied from those with whom we associate, and just as some bodily diseases are communicated by touch, so also the mind transfers its vices to its neighbors. A drunkard leads even those who reproach him to grow fond of wine. Profligate society will, if permitted, impair the morals even of robust-minded man. Avarice infects those nearest it with its poison. Virtues do the same thing in the opposite direction and improve all those with whom they are brought in contact. It is as good for want of unsettled principles to associate with better men than himself as for an invalid to live in a warm country with healthy climate. You will understand how much may be affected this way if you observe how even wild beasts grow tame by dwelling among us, and how no animal, however ferocious, continues to be wild if it has been long if it has long been accustomed to human companionship. All its savageness becomes softened, and amid peaceful scenes is gradually forgotten. We must add to this that the man who lives with quiet people is not only improved by their example, but also by the fact that he finds no reason for anger and does not practice his vice. It will, therefore, be his duty to avoid all those who he knows will excite his anger. You ask who these are. Many will bring about the same thing by various means. A proud man will offend you by his disdain, a talkative man by his abuse, an impudent man by his insults, a spiteful man by his malice, a quarrelsome man by his wrangling, a braggart and liar by his vaingloriousness. He will not endure to be feared by a suspicious man, conquered by an obstinate one, or scorned by an ultra refined one. Choose straightforward, good natured, steady people, who will not provoke your wrath, and will bear with it. Those whose dispositions are yielding, polite, and suave, 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 will be of even greater service provided they do not flatter, for excessive obsequiousness irritates bad-tempered men. One of my own friends was a good man indeed, but too prone to anger, and it was as dangerous to flatter him as to curse him. Caelius, the orator, it is well known, was the worst tempered man possible. It is said that once he was dining in his own chamber with an especially long-suffering client, but had great difficulty when thrown thus into a man's society to avoid quarreling with him. The other thought it best to agree to whatever he said, and to play second fiddle, but Caelius could not bear his obsequious agreement, and exclaimed, "Do contradict me in something, that there may be two of us." Yet even he, who was angry at not being angry, soon recovered his temper because he had no one to fight with. If, then, we are conscious of an irascible disposition, let us especially choose for our friends those who will look and speak as we do, They will pamper us and lead us into a bad habit of listening to nothing that does not please us, but it will be good to give our anger respite and repose. Even those who are naturally crabbed, 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 and wild, we yield to caresses, caresses. No creature continues either angry or frightened if you pat him. Whenever a controversy seems likely to be longer or more keenly disputed than usual, let us check its first beginnings before it gathers strength. A despite nourishes itself as it proceeds, and takes hold of those who plunge too deeply into it. It is easier to stand aloof than to extricate oneself from struggle. Right, guys, it was a little bit long part. Anyway, we're gonna continue tomorrow on the next one. Thank you, see you, and bye.